Hey YouTube, this is Dan with SC Bushcraft. Got out here today and was tagged quite a while ago with David, Really Big Monkey 1. He did a video about spiritual connection in the woods, and he tagged me to put one up, and I just been so busy I haven't had a chance to do it. So today I finally got to break free, and I figured I'd just, take y'all for a little walk and talk here and share my thoughts about that. I guess to me, the big thing that really strikes me when I get out into the forest is reality, because there's so much artificial in our way of life. Automobiles and electrical power, air conditioning, refrigeration, television, the radio. There's so many conveniences that we have. Oh, it's kind of a cool looking tree there, look at that. But there's so many conveniences that we have in this day and age, and comforts that just, they don't have to be here. It wouldn't take that much to disrupt our way of life. And I'm not saying that to be negative, but if nothing else, one thing I think about is life and death. And again, that sounds negative. I'm not trying to be negative, but that tree right there didn't make it. It rotted, got ate up by bugs. Well, that one did. That one did. That tree right there probably wasn't the fastest trees grow around here, maybe 20 years old. It should have lived longer. And it's kind of the same way with people. You never know what will happen tomorrow. And it really makes me think about, what do I want to invest my time in? How do I want to invest my life? Do I want to waste my life chasing, expensive cars, expensive houses, all that carrot, that American dream that they throw out there and dangling in your face, and they say, oh, well, if you don't achieve this in your lifetime, then you're just a loser. Well, honestly, I don't believe that. I think there's a whole lot of people who follow along with what everyone else does because, they've been told, if you don't do this, then you're a loser. But I've never been that way. I've always kind of been one to take the road less traveled. And so I think about, my children, my family, helping other people. What direction do I want my life to follow? And what do I want to be remembered for when I die? Do I want to be remembered? I was talking to somebody the other day. I'm not trying to get, personal here, and not trying to get too much into emotions with this, but talking to somebody I know, and they got a 13-year-old daughter. That girl's dad, he's just never been there for her, never going to be there for her in any real way. He's got a good job, he's got money in his pocket and all that, and and they were saying, well, her dad's going to buy her a car when she's 16 years old. And, well, he's a good father. You know what? That'd be the only time in her 16th year of life that she sees that man, is when he hands her the keys to that car, though. So was he a good father or not? That's the kind of questions that, that arise to me out here. And so many voices that just tangle you up, so many things. It's, it's so hard to sort it out. There's so much misinformation and confusion that gets pushed on you every day. What's real and what isn't? And that's what this place shows me. That's what, every time I come out here, even when I was just a small child, I'd go out here, not this specific place, but I'd go out in the woods, and I would think to myself, the world that everybody lives in is just a fantasy. And one day or another, it's all going to go back to this. It might be next year, it might be 100 years, it might be 1,000 years, but one day, mark my words, everything in the world will go back to this. Because this is what's real in the world. This right here, and human beings, are what's real in the world. Concrete, steel, electronics, and plastic, None of that stuff is real. You can hold it in your hands. All that stuff is a product of someone's imagination. You know, this right here is a product of the Creator. This is what the world started out like. Probably the trees were a lot bigger, I'd imagine, but you know, everything's been logged and clear cut. And this right here is what the world's going to end up like. But anyway, I wasn't saying any of that to bring anyone down, but that's the best way I can answer that question. What is my spiritual connection in the woods? I appreciate y'all watching. Thank you for your time. Have a good day.